What is up, guys? Wasp here again, here to do another hero in depth. Normally I would just be doing these in depths once per day, but this was actually a request, and because I do care about all my viewers and their requests, I do try to hop on it as fast as I can for you guys. So the hero that was requested for me to review was Fat Moo here. Let me get him on the screen for you. Fat Moo. Let's just go with Fat Moo. I think that's how it is. Yeah, we'll just go with that. Fat Moo. So Fat Moo over here. Very interesting looking guy here. Looks like a big rock. Actually, believe it or not, he looks like a suit of armor. He is metal. I'm just going by his like hinged mouth there, you know. It's all metal right there. So let's just say he's metal. He does look like a rock though. Anyway, his appearance though can be deceiving. You know, he does look like a suit of armor. You know, a big, rock piece of like a hunk of metal. You know, you'd think he'd be durable. Well, that is completely opposite. He is not a tank, and he should not be, mistaken for that. You got to look at his stats here. So he's a ranger, so he is not a warrior. He's not going to be, high on the HP and high on the armor. Despite his appearance, like I said, he's going to be doing damage, and a lot of damage at that. He's a relatively common 5-star I see, so you guys should not have problems getting him, just because I see him everywhere, literally. But just because he's common doesn't mean that he's bad necessarily. I do like Fat Moo. I'm thinking about building him one day. Um, anyway, let's go into his skills here. So I got Flame Fist. Deals 133% of his attack damage against 3 random enemies, which I do like. That's half of their team there. And an extra 16% attack damage each round for 2 rounds. So he's going to be leaving a burn with this Flame Fist here. The 3 opponents that he does attack, they're going to be burned for the next 2 turns, and that burn is going to be 16% of his attack, which is not a stellar amount, but it's something, and it's over 2 rounds, so that's pretty, that's average, I would say. It's decent. But we're going to get into more strategy later with him. You're going to realize that this burn, he's a burn machine. You're gonna see that later on. So I got attack. Attack 2, his only, it's his stat boosting skill. Like I said, I am a big fan of stat boosting skills just because of the raw stats that they give. Increases attack by 30%. So his total attack is going to be boosted by 30%. So he's going to have a very, very high attack. You do want to be building attack on this guy, actually. So you can be getting benefit from this boost here. And so all of his burns can get a boost as well. Let's see here. I got Ignite. Each attack has a 50% chance to burn the target, dealing 48% of his attack, so let's just say 50 for the sake of simplicity here, damage each round for 2 rounds. So 50% of his attack is going to be done. There's a lot of 50% here, so 50% chance to burn the target. So every time he attacks, he has a chance to burn the target simply off of a attack. Cannot talk today again, as usual. Anyway, dealing 40% of his attack. So whatever 48% of his attack is going to be, that's going to be the burn every 2 turns. So, or every turn for 2 turns. Very, very strong. 50% of attack is nothing to be laughed about, especially for 2 turns. So this Ignite's going to be the brunt of your damage. And this is a passive ability. He doesn't have to have energy for this. So this is always going to be in play. Any attack he does, 50% chance to burn. Flame Skin too. So Flame Skin, there is a certain way you can take advantage of this. I'll get into that later, but Flame Skin, when attacked, has a 50% chance to burn the target, dealing a quarter of his attack damage per round. So whatever a quarter of his attack is going to be, that's going to be done to the enemy for 2 rounds if they attack him and this procs. So let's just take a look real quick. You got the burn from Flame Fist, you got the burn from Ignite, and you got the burn from Flame Skin. So let's say I use Flame Fist and it hits one of the enemy front line. So the front line, let's say, gets burned from the Flame Fist. Then I basic attack it with an Ignite, and the Ignite goes off. So that's 2 burns right there. And I believe they do stack because all these are different skills. And they all have different, damage, scaling. So you're going to have the burn from Flame Fist, the burn from Ignite, and let's say that frontline enemy attacks Fat Moo and Flame Skin goes off. So that's 3 different, burns going on there. Now, one that has 24% of his attack, one that has 50% of his attack, and one that has 16% of his attack. That's a lot of damage per turn, You're going to have not only, Fat Moo attacking the enemy team, but you're also going to have your other team, the rest of your heroes, attacking the enemies, and with all that combined with the burn, that's going to be a lot of that's like an absurd amount of damage that's going to be done. Not only will the burns hurt and your other team attacking, but this attack here is going to be boosting all this stuff here. The burns that they receive, it's all going to be boosted by this attack. So you're going to want to just build full-on attack with this guy, as much attack as you possibly can. He's no pun intended, he's going to literally be melting the team every single turn, This guy is a molten piece of metal. He's going to be melting, he's not the one melting here. The enemies are. So yeah, build full-on attack with him, and you're just literally going to melt the competition away with this guy, because he's going to be burning the enemy so much that there's going to be a point where they won't be able to handle it. And that doesn't even include any of your other heroes that might have, like a poison or another burn, or, this is just Fat Moo alone. This is one out of, your 6 guys that's going to be doing all of this stuff. The burns are absurd with this guy. Just basically just build on full-on attack, and that's it. There is another way to run Fat Moo, and that is to take advantage of the Flame Skin ability. So what you want to do is you're going to want to not build him tank. You don't want to build tank on Fat Moo. Despite his appearance, he does look tanky, but you don't want to build tank on him. You want to build hybrid on him. And so you want to give him some bulk, and you want to give him some attack. But the reason why you want to give him bulk is because we can't run him in the front line, and you want to have a little bit of sustainability there. So when they attack him in the front line, and he's going to be getting attacked a lot since he's in the front line, this Flame Skin ability is going to be going off repeatedly because of the amount of attacks he's going to be receiving. So he's going to be burning a lot of people just because they're attacking him. That doesn't even include, his Ignite and his Flame Fist, This is just from him being, up in the front line, taking hits with his, bulk. Other than that, yeah, you can run him that way. I don't really like running him that way. I feel like you can put another tank in his position. You can, though, do it if you so choose to. I prefer to just run them full on, attack, and take advantage of the 3 burns that you get, as well as the attack boost. Overall, though, Fat Moo's a very underrated champion, or I'm sorry, hero, like I said, League of Legends. But I see Fat Moo all the time, and I don't feel like people know how to run him. And he's very easy to get just because everyone, seems to have him. So just because it's, like I said, a common champion, there we go again, hero, just because it's a common hero doesn't mean that he's necessarily bad. There's always a way to use these guys, and that's what I'm actually here to do, is just show you, how you can use these guys. How you can use these guys, like I said, I cannot talk today, to the fulls of their abilities. So that's about it for Fat Moo. Like I said, if you have any requests, please let me know and I'll do it, just like I did with this individual over here. He wanted me to do a review on his Fat Moo, so that's what I did. Like I said, any questions or concerns or suggestions, just let me know, and that's about it, guys. Thanks so much.